So today I am down in the garage. It is daytime for a change, and I am going to be shaping the rear quarters slash the overfender kind of pod section of the car today. Get it to the shape and the size I'd like and go from there. So let's get into it. So if you guys remember the reveal last week, the new Urus body kit has come in and we've just thrown it on the car as a mock template at the moment. It has a lot of potential, which I'm really looking forward to start playing around with. However, we've got to sort out these rear overfenders first before I even look at any of that. So let me show you what I'm up to. So we've got this fake looking side skirt on here. It's just sitting there so I can get an idea of how wide the rest of the car is going to go, including the front fenders. I'm still deciding on how I want it and whether I want it to mold into the car. If I don't go black, it's probably a good idea for me to mold it in because it would just look a lot better and all the lines on the car will flow better and the kit will look better. However, if I stay black, I might be able to get away with creating small joins that you won't be able to see from a distance anyway, and it will look like it's molded into the car no matter what. So, still deciding. So you can see, minus all the stuff I've just got lying about, sorry, I've got stuff everywhere at the moment. We've got the rear bar mock fitted on the rear here, just held up with a couple of boxes so I can see where it's coming out to. Now I did put this on yesterday, but as you can see, the heat has destroyed my tail light and all my sticky stuff. So it's just masking taped on, so it comes off when it gets really, really hot down in the garage down here. Stick that there and no. Ugh. Masking tape, pens, it's a nightmare. Stay. Alright, we got our little flappy bit on. This is my little holdering upper of my flappy bit. Just give me that nice angle. I think I'm gonna have to put new masking tape on this. The tape seems to be getting a bit too old. This is kind of what we're working with. And this is the width that we've got. So what I'm going to do today is shape the left-hand side. Once I get the left-hand side exactly how I want it, I'll then replicate it onto the right-hand side and go from there. So the first thing I want to do is get the foam lined up uniform with the steel on the bottom of the quarter glass and get that nice same shape and then go from there. So the shaping is going pretty good. I destroyed the sandpaper on my little sanding block, so I need to go down and get some more 60 to 80 grit and then start shaping the fenders a bit more. For now though, I've just tidied them up and made them look half presentable and given them like a very basic shape to go off, and I'm just playing around with a couple of different shapes, but I need to go get that sandpaper. So I'll show you what I'm doing and then I'm gonna run down, go get some stuff, and then we'll come back. Alright, so this is what I'm currently working with. It's still very boxy, very blocky, but I'm slowly shaping it. I don't want to take too much off too fast and then regret or not be able to put it back on. So I've just marked out some lines down the bottom here that I might curve it in a bit and then bring it back out, kind of like a like an airplane, like a, you know, like a forced induction for a turbine or something. So I might bring it down slightly curved in here. You can see this tiny little bit here, and I've marked, oh, sorry, you might not be able to see some of these markings on here. I've just got like little markings on little bits and pieces where I can see them, but they're not going to affect what I'm doing. So I have just shaved all the top down, just going off by eye to get it in line with the windowsill rubber to get it lower. So I've probably carved off probably about that much. Shaved a little on the top. Might be a little hard to see. And I've shaped a tiny little bit of it on the back. So I was going to have it fully square and have it as a very boxy butt, but the car itself is full of curves. The boot's curved, the glass is curved, even the S14 bonnet has some curve to it. So what I'm trying to do, instead of make it completely boxy, is make it a little more geometric. So it has a bit of a curve, but it's not a rounded curve, it's a very angular curve. So now that that's taken down to the window rubber, I'm going to smooth this out a bit more. I need to bog up some of the foam on the inside here just to stick it better. Put a tiny little bit of a shape on here and then run it flat off the back here. So it'll kind of follow kind of the window, but not really, because it's not going to be curved. I do keep saying that I want to keep following some of the rough 180SX lines. I don't want to just put on something that doesn't match the car at all and then hope it just works, because it won't. And I don't want to end up with a horrible looking kit car. I know some of you guys might be laughing at that, but it's true, and I'm going to do my best to try and fit this in with the whole lot of the car. So my sandpaper block is absolutely munted. It's kind of cool though, you can see how it's got a really rounded side, and then it's also got a very sharp side. So I can do nice smooth rounded curves, or I can do really sharp angular stuff. So something like this, I was using this originally just to kind of get that shape into that, and then you can use that side there to then shape it back out again off the side here. So that's kind of like that. So I've got the nice angular side, but then it keeps the sharp bit and then kind of falls into the rest of this part here. So I'm trying to keep as much width and as much of the boxy look as I can, but I also want to make it so it molds into the car and it looks nice. So you can see if I followed that nice box, it would look like an F40-ish Ferrari. I was originally going to raise the boot probably by about 10 mil across the whole lot of it, but have decided to keep it low and to keep the original boot line and then run this out perfectly flat, kind of how it is looking right now. I've just got to shape that rear quarter there, cut it a bit more on an angle, but make sure I'm not cutting too much off, because I still need to come out more on the back side in line with that. So it still needs to come out probably about this much and come out to about there. It's tricky. Like, I could sit here and say I have a plan and that I have a drawing that I'm going to go off and that's it, but I don't like doing that. I just want to be free with it and see where it goes. So I'm just kind of letting my imagination run wild and doing little bits and pieces as I go, and what I like and what I don't like. It's not the best battle plan, and it's definitely not how you design a car, but what the hell, why not? Let's give it a go. So I just wanted to play with a mock template of a very archaic vent, I suppose you could call it, maybe. I just painted it so I could see what it would look like. So this is a very, very crude way to do this. This is not how I'm actually going to do it for the car. I just want to have a look at how wide it's going to be and what shape I'm going to have to cut it in. So I could do a bit of a diamond off the top. So if you see here where it's joined, I could do something similar to that, but bring it up and cut it across here. So it's a bit more of a shape, and then wing it back. I just don't know how that's going to look. I just want it really wide at the top, and I don't really want it to go narrow at the bottom because I need it to flare back out to stay even with that side skirt. But I just have to figure out a way to shape that into something that I like and that doesn't lose too much surface area. But don't worry about this part first. How I'm going to shape this. And how low do I go on a side skirt? But you can see, compared to what it was before, it is a lot different. And it has a bit more of a curve to it. So I need the electric sander here for the vent to try and shape it a little bit better. You can see how I've just put a bit of a dent. Sorry, this is green. It's really hard to see. Oh, you need to follow. And I made an absolute mess. I gotta vacuum in a sec. Does it make you cringe? Look. Okay, when the electric sander gets here, I can round some edges off, kind of put a bit more shape to the wheel well here if I need it. Put a bit more depth into that. Fix that up a little, extend the back, and then just flatten all these out really, really flat so they're not rounded or uneven or anything. It's finally taking a bit of form compared to what it looked like earlier this morning when it looked like this. So we went from that big square block to this. Starting to shape nicely. But yeah, I have to do a bit of a garnish along here, above here, up here, these three or two vents and the ducktail, and then make a template for a tail light housing out of something solid. I don't have to make the tails yet, I just have to create some form of template I can use to then create the fiberglass around it and then worry about how I make them and how they bolt in later. It's a slow process. I could say it's tedious, as you can see by all the green stuff everywhere, but it's also a lot of fun and I'm enjoying the process, so it's not too bad. I can't wait to see what this will look like on the other side. It'll be so wide on the rear. Who knows, I might not even need to run the louvers on the rear quarters. What do you guys reckon? Should I run louvers or should I not run louvers? So if I decide to run louvers, okay, so this is no louvers. So we have a nice kind of hourglassy wide body. Keeping in mind when I do this door, I have to create a bit of a triangle that runs down the door here that will blend into that. So don't worry, the door will look fine and the front fender will come right out as well. So what I'm aiming for there is like a kind of a recessed door. So should we go no louvers or should we go louvers on this? That is the question. I've ran louvers for so many years now. I'm used to seeing the car with them on that I can't really see what it's gonna look like with them off. Doesn't help that everything's white and green though. Oh, it's a hard one. Thank you very, very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.